Hello all, welcome to our Chalk Talk with Tony. I'm your host, Tmzoids, also known as Tony, and today we have AEmerson01, also known as M. How are you doing today, M?
I am good, Zoids. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. You don't have to call me Zoids so impersonal. You can call me Tony, it's okay.
I can. I like it's
It's a,
habitual from stream. Okay, it's like not an intentional. But I'll call you Tony if that's better. It'll be a little more.
either one. Either one works. Actually, funny story about that. I met somebody from stream. They invited me. They're in Texas. We went out for barbecue, and the whole time they called me Zoids. It was the weirdest experience because I've never had anybody outside of stream and stuff call me not by my username. So it was really weird.
Did you? But did you tell them like?
I did. I said, "Oh, you know, since we've met now, you know me as Tony." And she's like, "It's just natural. It's just I've called you Zoids."
Well, there it is. Same answer. Okay, well now that you've experienced the Zoid situation, now I have to call you Tony so you can get both effects.
Oh, see, now I don't know. I'm not prepared.
Well, I'm not prepared either, so that's totally okay.
But everything going well? How's things? How's life?
Life is good, doing really well. Boy, let's see what's going on in my very busy life.
Well, the holidays were just here.
Not that busy. So holidays were good. My dad came out, which was awesome. I got to see him. I only get to see him about once a year. But that was really nice. I only got to see him for like 4 days, and he went home. And I cry every time that my dad leaves because I'm still like 4 years old at heart.
Oh,
But
that's
I got to spend time with my mom and my brothers though too, which was awesome. I don't get to spend a ton of time with them either.
but
Yeah, the holidays were really good.
well, that's good. Did you cry though? You didn't cry for your mom, just your dad. You're just like,
Well, because my mom actually lives 20 minutes away from me, and I'm just really terrible about going to see her.
oh,
So, you know what I mean?
So
To
it's-
be fair, she doesn't come here, though, either.
oh, called out, mom. See, now you got to go visit her right now. She'll be knocking on your door. What do you mean I don't visit you?
She would probably say that. She'd be like, well, you live in a small apartment, so it's easier for you to come see me. And I'd be like, all right, Mom.
Oh man. It's the holidays though. Cheerful 2020 now. New year, new you. So let's stay positive. You never know. A family drama. But going off that, I'm sure everybody is curious. Where did you get the name AEmerson01? And why 01? What happened to just one?
So everyone asks me this question, and I never have a good answer. Because the fact of the matter is that I needed a new name because the name that I was using on Xbox beforehand was in relation to a previous relationship.
Ooh.
So I was like, I need a new name. I have to change it now. And I was like, I'm not creative when it comes to names. So I literally was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go ahead and use the first initial of my first name and then use my last name. And then I put 01 because it didn't feel right with the 1. Like I needed some breathing room, you know?
Fair
Kinda,
enough.
like, push it out just a little bit. And that's literally the story of my name. It's not anything cool like, oh yeah, like my bros in high school used to always call me that. So I just ran with it. I don't even know if that's a cool story, but like there's no like story behind it. It's literally just I was desperate to get away from the username that involved a past relationship. So
Do you mind sharing that username, or is that a no?
no, I can. It's just very embarrassing. Okay, listen. All right. I was 19 years old, okay? We had these cute nicknames for each other.
Oh boy. Oh.
I'm so sorry for everybody right now. So so the username was T Tiger B Bunny, okay? So here's why.
T Tiger B Bunny. Okay.
So my cute nickname for him was Tickly Tiger.
Okay.
And
You're
his cute nickname for me was Bouncy Bunny.
bouncy money. I mean, you were younger. It makes sense.
And
It makes
so,
sense.
in my head somewhere, I was like, you know what would be a really cool online username would be a combination of our nicknames for each other, because that's fucking adorable. So really needed to get, because I started getting really embarrassed when people were like, so what's your username? I was like, do I really need online friends? Is that that's not something I need.
So this was just like an email, or are we talking like this was your username for like Xbox or video games, just across platforms? What do we?
It was strictly my Xbox Live username.
Okay, so
God, imagine if I made an email like that.
yeah, I could just see you applying for jobs, and she's like,
oh God, no.
ttigerbee@gmail.com.
And an interviewer would have been like, so this is an interesting email. Why?
It makes sense.
Oh, God.
Well, it's good that you picked a different name. Nothing wrong with being, simple. Sometimes people get too into it, and then, no?
The initial name that Xbox gave me, I wish I had kept, actually, because it was Fierce Wasabi. And now every time I think about it, I'm just like, that's such a fucking cool username. Why didn't I keep Fierce Wasabi? I could be known as Wasabi right now, but no,
By the way, you can swear. I know you're trying to kind of edit yourself. It's fine. You can swear.
I know. I feel bad about it because I'm like, I don't know, because with YouTube's now they're like children audiencing. I don't know what's happening.
Trust me, by the time I get monetized, I get a penny maybe. So I'm not getting any monetary worth from this at all. So
okay.
If it gets demonetized or whatever, it is what it is. But going off that though, I mean, it gives you options. Your username now. That way you're not stick to something like Tmzoids. Everybody's like, oh, Zoids. You love Zoids. You watch the show and you had the character, the building models, and I was like, oh. And you know how many people mispronounce my name? They call me TMZ. TMZ. I was here before TMZ was big, popular, okay? But no, it's okay. It's all good.
Well, the truth is that there won't ever be a need for a rebranding as a result of my name.
That's true.
Which I know that a lot of streamers go through. So
that is very true. So you never thought about changing your name?
That's okay. So not to say that I haven't thought about changing it, but if I was going to make a change, it would have just been to Emerson.
Makes sense.
So if I could just be Emerson on every platform, then I would be. But obviously, there's too many of us out there.
Yeah, it's probably taken.
So yeah.
The same thing with probably Wasabi too. Now that I think about it, somebody probably.
Fierce Wasabi.
I'm still. I'm sure there's somebody out there.
I don't know why, but I was like, that is a cool fucking name. But no, I'm gonna be AEmerson01. So.
Fair enough. So, starting when you're a wee little M here, what? You're like, oh goodness. When did you get into video games? When did the magic happen?
I'm trying to think of an actual age point. I'd probably say somewhere around 6, maybe even.
Dang.
No, 6 is probably the right age, because my dad has been working in the video game industry for I want to say my entire life at this point. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit on the beginning part. He was doing other stuff, but he's been in the video game industry for ever. So when I was really little, he built me a couple of gaming PCs. Whoa. And they were obviously really low end because I was 6 years old. All I was concerned with was backyard baseball and Freddy Fish.
Oh, so you didn't have a console. You had you went right into PC gaming.
Yeah. I did have consoles though. I used to play Sega with my mom, which was awesome. So it's actually kind of cool. Now, sometimes I forget that my mom also was kind of a gamer when I was a kid, because she used to play Sega with me all the time. Okay. And we used to have a blast playing that. So yeah, I had a Sega, and then my dad built me the gaming computers. I was obsessed with, like I said, backyard baseball, Freddy Fish, Spy Fox, and Pajama Sam. All of those games. I played through all of them. Every year I'd ask my dad for the newest Freddy Fish game specifically. That was my favorite. That was my thing. But it wasn't until like several years later that I was sitting down and I was watching my dad play Oblivion, that I just like, I think that was the moment that clicked for me, that I was like, yeah, like this is something that I'll be doing for the rest of my life. Like I think that was the moment that I fell in love with gaming. And that's why, even though Elder Scrolls, or Bethesda rather, has had a little bit of heat in the past couple of years, I will forever be a Bethesda fangirl.
Oh,
It's in my soul.
I mean,
it's just part of me.
It makes sense. So would you say back then your favorite game was probably Freddy Fish then, when you were younger-ish? Or
when if we're like talking little, Freddy Fish for sure. When I got a little bit older, my little brother and I got the original Xbox when that came out, and Brute Force was my favorite game on the Xbox. I still am like requesting a remake of that game. I love that game so much, but that would have been my first favorite console game. Would have been Brute Force, I think.
Interesting. Well, before we get into the console, to rewind just a little bit, so I always find this interesting when I interview somebody. It's either hit or miss. Their parents really hate them playing video games, or they really they don't mind, or they really will get them into video games. It seems like your parents, both your mom and dad, were not against video games, but they would play video games with you and introduce you at a pretty young age.
Yeah, I would say that my mom specifically, because my dad has always lived in another state, but I think my mom was grateful that I just had something that would keep me distracted so that she could work, because she used to work from home. But it did reach a point sometimes where she was like, get off the computer and go outside, because I would, when I hit my teens, I would be playing RuneScape and MapleStory, this one Korean MMO called KO, and like those would just be these games that I could sit there for 12, 15 hours. I once played for 24 hours straight. WoW, I got really into back then too. Like, so it did reach a point where it was like, maybe my mom wasn't so crazy about it.
It makes sense. So, with your dad, you watched him play video games? Did you ever play video games with him? Did you guys have a game that you guys like bonded over?
Yeah, I mostly watched my dad play games when I was hanging out with him. I still enjoy doing that. Like when he came out last time, I watched him play Outer Worlds, and that was awesome. But there was one game, I went to live with him in Chicago when I was 15 for the summer, and we played Borderlands all summer. And that was just a game that we just really got into together, which is surprising for me because I really don't like the Borderlands series. But for whatever reason, playing Borderlands with my dad, it was just an awesome experience. And that was the first game that we played and completed together.
Nice. You didn't see me kind of cheer over here while you were saying you came to Chicago. I mean, homegrown right here. Heck yeah. Come on back if you ever want to come visit. On a side note.
We'll have to. My dad still lives out there, so.
Oh, there you go. So.
Perfect.
Have you ever been to Portillo's?
No, I haven't. What is that? Oh
my god, it's like fast food heaven. You gotta get a big beef. Do you like peppers? Do you like hot stuff or just sweet stuff?
I do.
Oh
yes.
my, big beef, hot peppers, get a chocolate shake. Oh my god,
really good.
You'll be in love. Yeah.
Does sound really good. I haven't been to Chicago since that summer, but
you gotta come back out.
If I go back, yeah, exactly.
I actually introduced my friend from Texas. He came out here to visit me, and I was like, oh, I got to take you here. And he got a burger the first time. He's like, I should have got a beef. He's like, is it bad that I want to go back? It's like, no, dude, let's go. And he went back and got the beef. He's like, oh, my God, their food. I have to come back just for their food. So.
Oh, my God, you're making me hungry.
That was just a random side note. So if you ever do come back, try Portillo's. Chicago people know.
I have to keep in mind.
But going off that, so you were younger, you had the PC, and then when you got a little bit older, you shared an Xbox, the original Xbox with your brother, and you said which game again? Chaos?
Brute Force.
Brute Force. I was way off.
Yeah, that was way off, but that's okay. You were in the same alphabetical area.
Yeah. What is Brute Force? What shooting game? FPS?
Yeah. Yep. I'm trying to remember. I want to say that it was third-person shooter. It's been so long since I've played it though. But yeah, it was a shooter. And there were 4 different characters that you could play as, and they all each had their own special abilities, and I can't even remember the plot. I just know that it was awesome, and me and my little brother played the crap out of it.
So you want a remake of this game, though, because it was that good.
Absolutely. It was like, I think maybe it's a nostalgia thing. Like, if I went back and played it now, maybe I would hate it.
So is it like an Apex thing almost? Like, where they have, like, their own little ability? Because you said they had their own abilities. Apex has their own ability, kind of, per champion.
I don't know. I wish that I had a better way of explaining it. Like, I wish there was a trailer we could watch that would, like, explain it better, because I'm terrible at explaining things, apparently. But, it wasn't, I mean, it was obviously before there was online
gaming,
like, competitive stuff. So, I just remember there was, like, a cult thing. Some bad guys, some evil demon-y things. I don't know, something like that.
A cult thing. Okay.
It's probably not at all accurate. I'm like, this is my favorite game, and I don't know anything about it.
No, okay. It's all good. So a remake for that, Xbox or whoever made the game. Can you remember who made the game?
I just looked this up like 2 months ago because I wanted to remember what it was, and I don't remember what it is now.
So whoever it is, remake the game.
So whoever made this game, it doesn't even matter. Just remake the game, okay?
Or would you like a number 2? Would you like
I want a remake.
Original remake.
The Resident Evil 2 remake came out so good that I'm just like, yo.
Oh, there you go. See?
So
from that point on, it seems like, did you continue playing consoles, or did you get more into PC?
No, definitely we went the way of consoles. Because at some point, I think that my dad just got sick of building PCs. Like, we actually just had this conversation when he was out here about how there was a point when he just got sick of building PCs, because everyone used to ask him to build computers for them. So I think that around the time that I got the Xbox was around the time that my dad stopped building me I was gonna say consoles, PCs. So yeah, that was really starting to move me into console, and then that's just where I stayed.
So the big question, this is where you're going to get your haters, but it's okay, because there's somebody's going to be on the other side of the fence, I'm sure. But Xbox or PlayStation?
You know, I haven't...
Oh, boy.
I haven't had a PlayStation since PlayStation 2.
I don't blame you.
But I don't know. I just... If we were talking, like, back when PlayStation 2 came out, right? There was Xbox and Xbox 360, PlayStation 2. I would have said PlayStation, hands down. But that's also because PlayStation had Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, which is what Xbox didn't have, and like those were my favorite games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once I got the PlayStation, it was like it opened up my eyes to this whole other world of gaming, and I was just like, holy crap. So, but nowadays I wouldn't be able to tell you. I can tell you that I really wish that I had a PlayStation, because there's a lot of games on the PlayStation that I'd like to play. But I couldn't tell you, like, 2020 what my favorite is, because I don't have both consoles.
Dang. It sounded like PlayStation, though. You low-key, you're like, Sony, you know, if you want to sponsor me, give me that PlayStation.
You know, if that's the direction that this is going, I'm not against it, okay?
It's okay, Xbox fans. You'll get your time back one day, 1 year. But actually, I heard you say Final Fantasy, so now we got to really get the fan base going here. I'm sure this is a common question. You say Final Fantasy, and the first thing that everybody asks is, which is your favorite Final Fantasy?
Final Fantasy 9 is my favorite one, hands down.
9. Now, easy. I've never played a Final Fantasy game. Well, does Kingdom Hearts...
No, it does not. That's not Final Fantasy.
I have not. Maybe I played it on the little Nintendo, but I don't think so. I know of people. I would say Vivi is my favorite character. Does that count?
You can't have a favorite character if you haven't played the game. Although Vivi is the correct answer, you still can't have a favorite character unless you've played the games.
At least I got the correct answer. That's what counts here.
That's true. But that was just like blind cheating on a test, where you're like out of time, so you just gotta fill in bubbles real quick.
Oh no, definitely not. I liked him because he was a mage, and I like wizards. He had the little wizardly thing going on. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but that's okay.
No, you're right. You're right. His story is really tragic. But it's, oh my god, Final Fantasy IX is my favorite. I just played through it. I want to say maybe, was it a year ago already? Probably about a year ago. I streamed it, and it took me forever to get through because I'm easily distracted, but it was awesome to re-experience that game.
So I think it's 7, right? That's the most popular. Like everybody's like 7, or is it?
But I gotta say, in my opinion, someone's gonna be mad at me. I feel like the people who say that Final Fantasy VII is their favorite Final Fantasy game are the people who have only played Final Fantasy VII.
Damn, shots fired.
Like, there's obviously some exceptions, but I would say that game is just a little, like, if you talk to someone who's played at least like 3 of them, I almost never have I heard someone say that 7 was their favorite. I hear 8 sometimes, which is not the most popular one. I've definitely heard the first game. I've heard of 9 a lot, obviously.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But yeah.
So after riling their feathers even more, we have to go then. Is Vivi your favorite character then, or do you have a different favorite character?
Yeah. No, Vivi is definitely my favorite character. He's just so damn adorable, and you just want to hug him the whole time. You have to play this game, man.
I will have to.
It's an experience. At least play 7. Who cares? Just play 1.
Just play 1. So I don't have to play any.
To experience it.
I don't have to play them in order. I just okay. So they have their own little story.
I want to say that the first couple might be interlinked. I don't know. I haven't played like 1 through 6.
Okay.
But I've played 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 2. I haven't played 11 because I think that's the online one.
Yeah, one's an MMO, I think, right?
2 of them. I think 11 is the MMO, and then 14, which I currently play.
Okay, makes sense.
But yeah, I don't think that they're like, I know for a fact that 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, like none of the characters are the same. Okay. I don't know if there's some like deep lore where somehow they're all intermixed and like somehow it's canonical. I don't think that's the case though.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I know of it because so many people play it, and then doing the research, not just for like interviewing people, but also like seeing people play it. I don't know. I just connected, like I said, with Vivi. Not for his story. I don't know too much about his story. Just a mage like character he was, and just like he is. He is adorable. He just looks.
Do you like RPGs?
Yeah.
Up your alley? Because I guess they are. Okay. Because I was gonna say, I guess it's if you don't really like RPGs, then you might not like it. But
I mean,
if they're up your alley.
I played Kingdom Hearts. Still, I get a little credit, right? A little.
You totally do, because Kingdom Hearts is a great game. I only played 1 and 2 and then I guess
3 is
there's like
out, right?
12 games in between 1 and 2, or some ridiculous amount, and then 3 came out. Yeah, I never got to play that one.
It looked good. I kind of wanted to buy it, and I was like, eh. But going off of that, there, so you had Final Fantasy, you're a PlayStation kind of girl, and then you said in your teens you went back to PC, or like what was the transition here?
I would not say that it was like a going back per se. I think that it was more of
a constant
like
thing.
I think it was like I didn't have the money to buy more console. So I think I reached a limit of console games, and then it was like I discovered MMOs.
Oh boy.
So that's really how I was a PC gamer in my teen years. Because the reason I say like PC gamer is because I didn't know anything about PC stuff. I still don't really know anything about PC specs. Let's be really honest. I had to have chat help me pick out PC specs. Okay, like, but all I knew was like it had to be certain gigahertz. That's the only thing I looked for was gigahertz.
Okay.
The MMO met that. Then it was like, let's go. Let's try it.
There you go. Well, before we get into your PC gaming experience there, why didn't you and your dad like ever like build a computer? Did you ever see interest in building a computer? Or, you know, down the line, if you need a new PC, I know you just got a new PC because I watch your stream, but, you know, down the line, you could stream putting a PC together. That would be I'd watch that.
That stresses me out so bad because I know what happened is I would probably put something like in the wrong place and everyone in chat would be like, oh my God, why? And I would just feel terrible about it because it would be a stress stream. Everyone would just be on edge the whole time.
I mean,
you know?
Picking your PC was very stressful in itself.
Okay. Okay. Do you see what I mean? Imagine me, of all people, trying to fucking put an HD drive into a fucking computer. I mean,
it wasn't. To be fair, it wasn't you. It was just everybody has their own opinion about. Yeah, I get it. I understand.
That's the other thing, though, right? So if I'm building a PC, imagine how many people we don't even know that are gonna come into stream and be like, "Whoa, bro, that's not where it goes. That is not the right way, madam. You shouldn't even be building a PC right now."
Oh, God.
Like that would just be, and then at some point I would just get really angry and just be like, "Fuck it, I'm done." I wouldn't even stop stream. I would just leave the room.
It makes sense. And to make you feel a little bit better, I build my PC, and I pride myself on building my PC. And the first CPU that I installed by myself, I put so much thermal paste on, I fucked up the whole thing. I put too much thermal paste on, so by the time I pushed it down into the slot on my mouse. And I was getting frantic, and I got paper towels, and then I fried the chip because the paste was everywhere. So then, luckily, I was like, "Oh, this chip didn't." It was brand new, so I was like, "This chip doesn't work. Can I return it?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure. Put everything in the box." I scrubbed and cleaned the chip so well. Luckily, they gave me a refund and got a new chip for free.
Wow, really?
Shh.
That surprises the crap out of me.
Because it didn't work when I got it, duh. Wink, wink.
Okay.
Wink, wink, chip.
Okay, I totally spaced. I honestly thought that you were like, yeah, they told me to scrub it. I thought you said they told you to scrub it.
No, I cleaned off all the thermal paste so they wouldn't be like, he's an idiot. We're not getting him shit back.
Okay.
Wink,
so
wink.
So you're lucky. You got really lucky.
Yes,
okay,
I'm very lucky.
Got it. Noted.
But going off that tangent, so no PC building then. We're just maybe off stream with your dad, you know? Like,
yeah,
Dad, got
probably. If I was gonna build a PC, like don't get me wrong, I've got friends in my life that are like, why didn't you come to me? I could have built you a PC. And I'm like, bro, you like would not have built me a PC. Like people always say that. They're always like, why didn't you come to me? And it's like, because it would have taken you like 6 months to just be like, all right, now I'm ready to sit down and build half a PC. And then you're gonna have to wait an extra 3 months to finish it. So, you know, I mean, I just...
Well, that, and in my opinion, if you're gonna do that, you should probably learn, in my opinion. Like, I wouldn't... Like, here you go. Because then they're gonna build it for you, and then you're like, oh, okay, thank you. And then something doesn't work, and guess what? Who you have to rely on? That person.
It's funny that you bring that up, because I was thinking the last couple of days that something that I really want to learn more about this year and be more knowledgeable in is PCs and PC parts. And so I'm like, now I'm just wondering what are the good resources to look at so I can have a better knowledge, better understanding of how everything goes together.
It is very simple. I think people think it's like really overwhelming, which it can be for new people. I mean, you got 20,000 different parts, but the basic motherboard, processor, and you're like, I don't know what those are off the top of my head.
No, I do. I do know what they are. Actually, okay. I'm not that incompetent. I promise. So I know what the basic parts are. It's more of like knowing how they go together, why they work the way that they do. I mean, one of the things that always was difficult for me specifically, because before I got this new PC, the pre-built, I thought about, doing a build. Mm-hmm. But it got so overwhelming looking at graphics cards and processors. I was like, I don't even know what's good, what's not good, what's the newest one. Do I need the newest one? You know what I mean? It was just overwhelming.
Yeah, technology, as I'm sure, even with the consoles, I mean, they just, 1 year in, you go buy a console and their PlayStation 5 is coming out, or PlayStation 7 is coming out, and you're like, I just got 6. What do you mean it's done? It's just how it is, especially with graphics cards, so don't feel like, if you could afford the biggest one, which I doubt because they're like thousands and thousands of dollars, but
I've seen the prices on them.
But off that tangent. So we're back to PC gaming, or PC gaming, kind of. PC gamer. So you said MMOs. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a fun one. So that's what you went back into in your teen years. We're talking like RuneScape.
Yeah. RuneScape specifically was huge for me. That I would say, well, I can remember various parts of my MMO days, but RuneScape was definitely top 3 of the ones that sucked up the most of my time. I'm just remembering all of the days, like, sitting curled up in the chair, like, with my knees to my chest, and, like, I would have a soda next to me. I used to drink a stupid amount of soda. I would just have a soda here, and, like, chips or something over here, and just, like, knees to chest, like, hunched over, like, playing this game. And I just remember my mom constantly just being like, Emerson, you haven't been on that computer for 5 hours. Get up and move. And I'd be like, yeah, Mom, okay, like, in a little bit. No big deal. Just, So, but RuneScape was the one. Had a couple of RuneScape boyfriends.
Oh, okay. All right. That's how you played RuneScape. I need gold. We'll dance for gold.
Please.
Oh,
please,
my
I need gold. I also... I also used to scam people because I'm a terrible person.
Oh my God! You're admitting this on film. This is recorded.
I know. Done. I'm admitting it now because I feel like I confess my sins.
So you scam people in RuneScape?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the reason that this happened, because I was being vindictive. Okay, so. When I first started playing the game, I maybe 2 days into the game, this person was like, hey, I can get you some, like, really awesome weapons and, like, gold and everything. And I was like, oh my God, that's cool. Thank you so much. And they're like, yeah, totally. Just follow me. And I'm like, yes,
I know where this is going.
I would love to.
I know where this is going.
So I'm, like, following this guy. And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm going to get some sweet stuff. So we cross over into the wilderness.
I know exactly where this is going.
Not 5 steps in, he turns around, he's all, dead, just gone. And, like, it was, I didn't even have any stuff. He was just being a dick. Like, so I was like, are you being kidding me now? What just happened? I think it took me a minute to process it anyways, because I was like, I didn't know you could do that. Yeah. Like, I knew you could fight goblins. Didn't know you could kill other people. So, yeah, I mean, and even there's, like, that big screen, too, right? That pops up that's like, hey, this is a PvP area. Be careful.
Yeah.
My dumbass probably didn't even know what PvP was at that point. So that happened. And then it made me want to screw everyone else over in this video game. So,
wow.
So, looking for girlfriend, 1K. Many people's RuneScape girlfriend back in the day. And then, there was this phenomenon that popped up with gold trimming on armor, which couldn't be done by players. It was like a quest I think you had to turn in order to get the gold trimming. Mm-hmm. But I used to, gold trim for people.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, terrible, awful. But, we were all 12, so it's fine.
So
there's probably one guy out there that's like, this bitch like, was gonna gold trim. It's like then friggin' 15 years, and he's like, I will find her, I will beat her up. Unacceptable. It's like just still sitting on it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I fell for the same trap in RuneScape.
Maybe I scammed you.
No. They were like, come over here,
Okay.
follow me, this cool area, and then we're in the wilderness, and yeah, I was like, my bronze sword and my shield, why?
I tried to take someone to the wilderness, and then I couldn't kill them fast enough before they escaped.
Oh god.
So,
But
just being a terrible person in MMOs. What do you do?
so did you main, like, were you like a warrior type? Were you the more mage type in RuneScape? Archer? I know archery was a thing in there.
I have never been like a mage person. I don't know why, but sorcery and stuff has never really been my thing.
But you like
I'm just
Vivi.
like up close. I know, which is funny, but I love Vivi because of his story and just he's small and adorable. So, but I like playing as sorcerers and magic casters, arcanists, whatever you want to call them, whatever game you're playing. Just for whatever reason, they've never like captured my interest. I always want to be like up in someone's face. So DPS has always been big for me.
Makes sense. Do you ever think about any of those runes? Was that your first? Let's start with this one actually. Was that your first online like experience? Was RuneScape?
First online, as in like playing with other people?
Yeah, like first ever. Like, did you connect to the Xbox or PlayStation? Well, no, PlayStation 2 didn't have that, so.
No. Yeah. So, RuneScape would have been my first like online experience with other players. Yeah.
Well, looking back at it now, does that like mind blow you? Like you're just like because millions of people played that game. Thinking about it, and you're on like a server, and you're just all the song. You could play the classic theme song, and you'd probably get all excited and hyper. I still do. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I'm trying to think of like my first experience. I don't remember being giddy per se to log on. I remember feeling determined, which is probably a weird way to put it, I guess, but my goal ever since I found out that you could earn money in these games was to earn the most money. So it was like every day I would log on, and it was like, that's what I want to do today. I just want to make money.
So
and that's probably not a good mindset for a 13-year-old to have.
Especially when you're scamming people.
Look, gotta hustle, okay? I don't know what to tell you.
Oh man. So so your main goal was just to make money in the game?
Yeah, I mean, like that was my ultimate goal, right? But you've got side things that you want to do. You want to learn fletching for whatever reason. I got my mom to buy me the membership so I could learn fletching. Thieving, I was all over that, which is kind of messed up now that I think about it, because stealing things in video games is like primo. If I can steal something in a video game, I will try it.
Oh,
so,
man.
But yeah, I would say for whatever reason, I was just like, I want to make money in this game and every game thereafter. But it's not like I didn't enjoy doing quests and killing things, and you know what I mean. For whatever reason, I just always wanted to be the best in some area, and it always ended up being money.
Okay. Makes sense. So going off that, did you continue with your PC gaming experience? Did you go to WoW? Because that was like my jump. I went from RuneScape to WoW, and whoo.
I don't remember if I went to WoW before or after MapleStory. I think it was after MapleStory, though, because I got my little brother into it, and he got more obsessed with it than I did. So I don't know too much about MapleStory. I know it was an MMO, and it was one of the competing ones there. World of Warcraft now. You got to buy the subscription. Yep. The
big ones are coming now. Here's where your haters and fans will come in. For the Horde or for the Alliance?
For the Horde, always.
Oh.
Even Rex on stream says for the Horde every now and then.
Well, there you go. There you go. And as a Horde player, what'd you play? Like a troll? Back then,
Blood Elf every
Blood
time. I don't know what it is. I was like, man, I want to be a hot Blood Elf today. And then that's what happened, so.
And do you remember what you played as the Blood Elf? I think it was like Mage or Hunter, Warrior.
I didn't get into Hunter until I think the third time getting into WoW. I definitely started. I was either Rogue or Warrior.
Rogue. That makes sense. You want to steal, pickpocket.
Yeah, see, it's a recurring theme with every game I play.
And did you do the same antics that you did in RuneScape, or was that like...
No, I didn't. RuneScape, I left behind my childish ways of scamming people in RuneScape.
So did you actually... Or were you more of a PvPer, or did you not... You just played...
I've never really been a PvP. I mean, nowadays I would probably want to try more PvP stuff. Mm-hmm. But back then I was strictly PvE.
So did you raid, or you just kind of do the quest and...
I did dungeons. I didn't really raid. It's funny because I talk about being like really addicted to WoW and like getting so into it that I could play for like 24 hours straight, which I don't recommend. But
same here. Don't worry.
But for whatever reason, I just was always really content with crafting. I think that was the big draw for me in WoW, was the crafting aspect, because I didn't like RuneScape had it too, right? And MMOs like Guild Wars. My dad got me Guild Wars. Hated that game.
What? I
hated it.
Don't get me started. It's fine. It's okay. But it just has a special connection. But that's okay.
Guild Wars 2 is a fabulous game.
Oh, okay.
I think Guild Wars 2 is great.
Okay, brownie points back. You're good. You're safe. You're good.
But the first Guild Wars, I hated it. I think it was because there was such a disconnect between players, because it was like there was an area, like a town, where you would get to be with other players, but as soon as you left that town, you got your own instance.
Yeah.
And I hated that.
That makes sense. It had the Diablo kind of a feel to it. Have you ever played Diablo?
Maybe once or twice, a really long time ago.
It was the same thing. If you were not in their like party or guild thing, you gotta.
I hated that. I hated it. And I didn't even talk to people when I played, but I didn't like that. I got my own instance.
Makes sense. No, you're okay.
I just like shook my whole desk.
As long as you don't flip your desk, you're okay.
Try not to.
Oh, jeez. The rage. So, you played WoW for the crafting aspect for money? Because now it sounds like you were just making stuff for money. You're a rogue, you pickpocket people, you're just there for the money. What?
It's not well, actually, it's kind of a reflection of real life me.
What do you mean? You're just...
in the aspect of like I've always hustled as much as I could to like help my family. Specifically when I was younger, I worked 2 jobs and went to school full time and did online school in high school to help support my family. So I think that some of that real life aspect bleeds into the gaming side, but it was like a lot easier in game to be like, yeah, I just got 1,000 gold versus, real life when it's like you get a $200 paycheck and you're like, this is gone tomorrow. You know what I mean? So.
That, and I was going to say, you can't really, well, it's probably not legal in most places to sit on the corner and be like, 1,000 gold for a girlfriend. If you know where I'm getting at, then.
I just imagine a guy coming up with a bag of gold coins and he's like, there's 1,000 coins in here and it's all gold. Be my girlfriend.
Oh, man.
That doesn't work on me.
Well,
I'm not impressed by other people's money. I am, it's like a me thing. Like, I want to make that money so I can help my family. Do you know what I mean?
That makes sense. That's good to have a good working ethic,
I try.
I mean, you're working, you got a place, that's what counts, right?
True that.
Just one step at a time. Always can be bettering yourself.
Yeah, you're right.
Not to get too real here.
Not to get too deep into the...
But going back off of the World of Warcraft thing, so is this video game? Did you keep PC gaming? As you got older, were you like, okay, time to focus on school now?
No, oh my god, I never was like, okay, it's time to focus on school now. Don't let the 2 jobs and full-time school and online schooling fool you. Like, the online schooling was a result of me not paying attention in school. My first 2 years of high school, I flunked classes. Just didn't do the work. And my teachers would always get really mad at me and like have my mom that were like, she nails every test and she doesn't turn in any of her work, so she's fucking failing.
So
and I was like,
is that a result of video games, or just because you did not like school?
No, it was definitely it was video games, because I would be up until like 2 in the morning. And then by the time I got to school, it was like I would rather sleep. I slept through most of my classes sophomore and freshman year. Like, it's not a good thing. Don't do that. But I'm just saying that, you know, so having to go through online schooling just so I could graduate on time.
Yeah.
Would not recommend.
Wow, I don't think I knew that about you. Because you do seem like you focus on your work. You got your home life thing going, and you're like, okay, well, I can stream these days. Because it's not like you stream every day.
No.
So I didn't know.
You get older, I think, and you just... For some people are naturally gifted with the ability to focus, and I have never been one of those people. But as I got a little bit older, I think there was just a reality of, like, if you don't focus, you're kind of fucked. So it's like the ultimatum of like, do I want to be totally screwed, or do I want to just buckle down for a little bit?
So,
you know what I mean?
So what you're telling me, if I really want something from you, I just gotta dingle the video games in front of you and be like, come on, don't you want to play a video game with me? Don't you want to play?
That wouldn't work now. I'm too old for it now. Now I would be like, fuck no, bro, I gotta sleep. I need to be up in 8 hours. I need to go to sleep right now.
Damn.
I'm like old and boring, so.
Oh my god. You're not old. If you still play video games, you're still a kid at heart, somewhat.
That's true. I also still watch cartoons, so like,
there you
never
go.
growing up.
See, there you go. So going forward off your PC gaming, we're gonna get to Twitch now. Let's focus on Twitch. Let's start with how you. Let's start with how you found Twitch. So, the story behind that.
How I found Twitch. Wow, I've never thought about that. I don't know. I really don't know how I stumbled across Twitch. I'm trying to even remember like the year that it happened. So if you look at my account, it probably says that it's been alive for like 6 years.
6
probably.
years? Dang.
Something like that. Obviously, I haven't been streaming for that long.
Well,
but the account itself was created like 5 or 6 years ago. I don't remember how I came across. I have no idea. That is so weird. You think that there would be like a moment where, like, oh yeah, I saw this guy was doing this, and so I clicked on it. But
Well, yeah, it could have been like esports or significant other. I know sometimes the boyfriend's like, come watch this, and you're like, what the fuck?
No, I've always been the gamer in the relationship.
As she rolls her eyes,
Yeah.
these silly boys.
So annoying. Like, bro, I just want to game with you, and they're like, no, or they'll be like, no, I gotta play NBA 2K whatever, and that's the only game they play, and it's like, can you please expand your horizons?
Really? What?
Yeah, those are the only guys that I've dated.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I did date a League player once, and that was awful.
You dated a League player? Do you?
Yeah.
Can we talk about this or no? Do you want to
We
talk?
can, if you want to. It's not very exciting. It's just, he was awful.
So he was like a professional player?
No. I think he really thought he was going to be.
Oh, God.
He still plays League. At least the last time I talked to him, he said he was still playing League. But it was just like, oh my God, he would just come home, sit down at his laptop. Like, I mean, the second he walked in the door, just sit down on his laptop and pull up League. And then all I would hear for the next 4 hours is click, click, click. I was like, stop clicking the mouse. Just stop. Please. Please stop. It was awful.
Well, there was the first problem. He played on a fucking laptop. Who? Okay, so
It can run on like anything, though. I mean, it could even run on that crappy laptop that I was trying to stream off of.
True,
You know?
true. So, did you play League of Legends?
I did for a little bit with him, yeah. But he was like, he's just a really competitive type. So,
Okay.
you know, I didn't know anything about the game, and he was like, "Oh, I'll show you. We can play it together. It'd be really cool." And then he like bought me all these skins and stuff, which was
Oh,
like totally
boy.
unnecessary.
Oh, yeah.
But and then he taught me a little bit, but he would always abandon to go do his ranked matches.
Oh.
You know? Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. So I was like, I don't like this game very much. And then also
Oh.
the people are just always like, suck my dick. It's like, all right, like I haven't heard that one before, buddy. Okay.
Oh, now I feel bad for playing League of Legends earlier, but it's okay.
No, I don't have anything against anyone who enjoys League. I really don't. I was an asshole, okay?
So,
For multiple reasons outside of the league, but we won't get into that.
fair enough, fair enough. So, was he at least good at the game though? Like,
Yeah, he was. He was like whatever the highest tier you can be is. I don't even remember.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
But he wasn't like a
That's why he abandoned me to do rank, so that it wouldn't decay, you know? So,
But he wasn't a professional player.
no.
Okay, I thought you meant like a professional. I was like, damn, man, get it, girl, get it.
Get it, girl. Oh, God, no. No. I don't... I'm like thinking, I feel like No, never mind. I don't know what I was thinking. Sorry. Go on.
No, you're fine. It's all good. It's good that you still talk to him, so it couldn't have been that bad. That's
No, it was terrible. We just recently... We work together. So, like,
Oh,
yeah. We
okay.
recently kind of made amends, you know?
Fair enough.
But,
Fair enough. See, learning something new every day, I guess. But going off that, so you don't remember how you found Twitch at all. There's nothing like esports. It definitely wasn't a boyfriend. You didn't watch anybody? Do you remember who were your first people that you really like stuck and watched?
Yeah, actually, I do. I do remember the first person that I watched. His name is, I still follow him, Slind. He streamed Minecraft.
Oh.
He still streams Minecraft, in fact. And then after Slind, I found Wild, WYLD. I think that's his whole username. That might be a shortened version of it. And he streamed Minecraft too. So it must have been a Minecraft thing. I must have been getting really into Minecraft.
I was going to ask, did you play Minecraft? Because I don't know.
Oh yeah. I was there when it was in beta.
You're like, oh,
I'm
yeah.
an OG Minecraft player.
Oh, man. Because it's blown up.
Mhm.
Actually-
I know. Well, Microsoft bought it, so.
Oh, yeah. But it died. It was like non-existent. And then all of a sudden everybody's like, let's play Minecraft. I'm like, where the hell? Minecraft? Just
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So you were on a Minecraft kick. You found these people.
Mhm.
And then from there, did you chat, or were you like one of the lurkers and you're like, oh, this is cool, he's playing Minecraft? Or
I was a lurker. I never chatted anywhere. Well, I like thinking back on everything. Even playing MMOs, things like that. I never talked to anybody. Like I never made any MMO friends or anything.
Really?
I was just a solo player.
You
I was just how I did everything was just solo.
never in a guild, or never had?
No. I started a guild once and then I didn't follow through with it.
Well, let me tell you, starting a guild is a pain in the ass.
Tell me about it. Every time Kiki and I like play a new MMO together, I'm like, it's just the two of us in that guild forever. So
It's too much work. If you really are serious about it, like it's a job in itself, to be honest with you.
yeah.
A job in itself. So you didn't really chat, and it's surprising with the MMO thing. I'm kind of still thrown back because it's
Yeah.
like, when you think about MMOs, and my experiences with MMOs, like the best experiences that I had were people that I played with or met through the game, and that's how I met some people and friends that I have now for years. Like,
That's like most people. It's MMOs for a lot of people are like how they found friends.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my closest friends, his best friend he met playing WoW, and he literally just went to this guy's wedding like a year ago and was his best man.
hey,
These people people in general get really close playing MMOs, and for me, I don't know I think that I just wasn't really concerned with other people. I just knew that these games had features that I wanted that solo games didn't have.
Makes sense.
So it wasn't a thing for me. Like, I wanted to go out and talk to people, but I've always also been like an introvert. So.
Well, yeah, I think the computer screen kind of helps that, because I think there's more introverts on the computer than there are off the computer. Well, making friends wise, because I would say my best friend, the guy that I visited in Texas, he actually was from. Well, we met on a website because I was looking for hacks, because I was a devilish guy. Yeah, I was a devilish guy back then. Hacks for
I thought I was bad.
for StarCraft, and then we played WoW together, and then I don't know, like I said, he came out here, had Portillo, and then it's just a whole thing, you know.
It makes sense. Looking back, I think I wish that I could say like, oh yeah, I met so and so playing, Maple Story or whatever, and it was really awesome. The only experiences that I really had with talking to people would just be randoms who would see that I was a new player, and they would just be these really nice people who were like, hey, let me give you some gear and some money to get you started. And that was like probably the most interaction I had with other people through MMOs.
All right. Well, you have your chance now, because transitioning now from being a viewer on Twitch, you're like you're like, it's never gonna happen.
I don't know.
Transitioning from being a viewer on Twitch, what made you decide that, hey, I'm gonna start streaming? This is gonna be my thing.
So I started streaming a couple times before it stuck.
Okay.
The first time I tried streaming, what did I try streaming? So Zoo Tycoon is the infamous one. Was probably the second time, maybe the third time that I tried streaming. I played Zoo Tycoon.
Okay.
And I remember I had like 3 people watching me, and I was like, oh my, this is the coolest shit in the world. I am a celebrity. Everybody watch me pick up the poop in this cage right now.
Okay.
For whatever reason, it didn't stick past that day. I want to say the very first time I tried to stream, what was it called? Orcs Unchained.
That sounds familiar.
It's like a
It's not a platform game. It's like a defense game.
Yes, a castle defense game. Thank you.
Tower defense. Yeah.
Tower defense.
Same thing. Same thing.
No, but yeah, it was a tower defense game, and my laptop couldn't handle that. It's like streaming and playing the game at the same time, so that didn't stick either. And then this other time I streamed Oblivion.
Okay.
And I did that one with Kiki actually, and that was actually a really cool experience because, we made this character called Granny McMuffins, and we just had this whole backstory, and it was awesome doing it with Kiki, because it was like, you have someone to bounce off of, and when we get together, we're absolutely ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But we had this guy that actually came in, and he talked to us the whole time, and it was an awesome experience. I don't know why it didn't stick again after that. I think it was probably something to do with like just IRL stuff going on, but yeah, I gotta say, I don't really know either what made me want to stream. I think just seeing people doing it, I think maybe there was a little bit of envy of like all of these friends that people had in chat that they got to talk to, because I'm still not great at making IRL friends because I'm very awkward. But I think that I really wanted to entertain people, I think was kind of a big thing for me. And then you get to have all these like friends that you just know, like they come into your chat and they talk to you, and it's like about each other's lives, and there's a cool thing that connects you in that way. If that makes sense. So
this is what I was talking about. Maybe the MMOs weren't your thing, but I'm sure there's a few Twitch people. I'm not even saying myself. I'm just saying, your mods maybe, or somebody that's been there through.
I do want to play specifically. I wanted to play Ark. I tried to get you guys into Ark, and everybody was like, no, I'm good.
Lisa's into Ark, by the way, if you wanted to like.
Who?
Lisa? Ivory? Sorry, Ivory.
Oh, Ivory.
She's like on a big Ark kick. She actually made somebody buy the game. They're like, I'll play with you. Because I was like, I have the game. It just, I don't, I I think after I lost all my dinosaurs the 30th time.
That's fair. To be fair, I also like I've reached a point in the game where I'm just like I don't know what to do from here, and now I'm bored because I don't know what to do from here.
I mean,
so but
yeah.
Final Fantasy 14 though, I know a few people. I got back into Final Fantasy 14 because of another streamer that I watch, and his community plays.
Okay.
So I was like, maybe I'll jump into that, and I got Kiki to play that with me too. So I've got someone.
So it does sound like you want to play with people, just that you just didn't make the effort all the time.
Yes and no. I think I just didn't. I never really knew when I was going to be able to play, and so like, I mean, even now, it's like I feel bad when people are like, oh, let's play this game, and I have to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't play, and then they like end up always asking me at the wrong times. So it's always like, I'm sorry, I can't really play right now, and then I'm just an asshole because it seems like I'm like avoiding people or whatever, So having the obligation of like a guild, say, or a party, that is overwhelming for me sometimes. The idea of like being like, oh, you have to. Although I gotta say, if maybe there was like everyone logs in at 7:00 on Thursdays, I feel like I could do that. But like random times during the day of people being like, let's play right now, and me being like, I really can't. I don't want to be like a dick. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you could always reach out to them too and be like, hey, I have time to play right now. I think most viewers should understand by now, hopefully, maybe not, that you have a life. I mean, you can't always be on the computer. Yeah.
Like, I get it. I do. You know what I mean? It's, it's just you want to hang out with somebody. So you're, like, messaging them to hang out with them. And I totally get it. I just don't, come across as a dick. And it's like, I've had plenty of people ask me to play. And it's like, I can't play with everybody every game that they want to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's other stuff going on in my life that I have to take care of as well. And so by the time that I'm, like, sitting down to play a video game, by that time I'm usually like, I specifically don't want to be like in a voice chat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I wouldn't mind so much if it was text based, but it like freaks me out that people might want to be in a voice chat with me, because I'm like I can't do that. I know that's the easiest way to like talk to somebody when you're playing a game, but by the time I'm ready to sit down, it's like I don't even text chat or nothing, bruh. You know what I mean? I just get like that. You have to recharge your batteries at some point, specifically when you're an introvert.
Yeah.
So video game time is kind of like that time for me.
Well, bouncing off that, I think this is a good PSA for people when it comes to streaming and just everything else. Like you said, people need a break, and people sometimes, like you said, people just don't understand that. It's just like But yeah, like you said, people want to hang out, and you don't want to be mean. But
yeah, and I really don't ever think that it's an intentional thing. You know what I mean? It really is just like they want to hang out, and that's super dope. I should take it upon myself really to like have a set time to play games with the community. I think that would be better for everybody, because then it would be like, oh, I know that M is going to be doing this.
Yeah.
So I can jump in, and that's actually a good idea. Maybe I should do something like that.
Yeah, brainstorm.
We still got to set up movie night too.
Movie night. Look at you're brainstorming all these things, these ideas, all these leaks. People are gonna be like, "Holy cow!"
Oh my God, Emerson!
And then
you promised like 3 months ago, and I'm gonna be like, I'm trying.
It's gonna be recorded. They're gonna be like, right here. You see from minute so and so to here. You said that you wanted to play video games with us. Can't.
And I'm gonna be like, bro, you're not wrong. Let's start there.
But focusing more on your Twitch now, I guess first things first, we kind of already talked about this, but what do you stream on Twitch? If somebody was like, oh, I'm going to go check you out, what do we expect to see?
I wish I had a straight answer. I guess we would say we would have to focus more on a genre than like, games specifically. So I love playing story-based games, like story-rich games, I should say, that might only last 20 hours or less. I play a lot of those, so we mix it up a lot with that in the variety realm. I love doing JRPGs like Final Fantasy, but we haven't done that in a really long time. Right now we're playing through The Witcher 3.
Okay.
I don't know if we're going to get back into Ark. I haven't decided yet. I wasn't even sure yesterday if we were going to do ARC. And then my ISP dropped out anyway, so I was like, oh, well. But I would say that I think I've narrowed it down to probably survival and crafting and story-rich games. Yeah.
Would you ever go back? Would you ever go back to WoW?
No, I won't stream an MMO. I won't.
You won't stream.
That's the one thing that I will not stream.
Is it because of the fan base, the people that are watching you, or?
It's not that. It's because I don't enjoy that content. I don't like watching people play MMOs, so I'm not going to put out content that I wouldn't enjoy myself.
Okay, that makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So going off of that, you are an affiliate. That's exciting. What do you think about the affiliation program? Let's start there with Twitch.
I am. Sorry, you cut out. I am affiliate. Is that what you said?
Oh yes, you are an affiliate. So what do you think about that? Do you think that's a good idea? Good starting point for people on Twitch? Do you think it's exciting with the emotes and the extra perks you get?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm trying to the context of do I like it? Do you know like a good starting point? Do you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to figure out the context of what you mean. Think it's a good starting point?
For you, like, is that something that works for you? Do you think a good starting point is a good best way to word it. Is it good, like, is that going to help you further along what you want to do with Twitch, or is that just something, an extra perk?
I see what you're saying. Like, as a step in the direction of what I would want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I fell in love with content creation my first month streaming consistently. I was like, this is what I want to do. And I can't say that I want to do it full time.
Okay.
I don't think I would ever want to do full time streaming. There's just too much unpredictability that comes with it.
Oh yeah.
But being an affiliate is a really, I mean, it's obviously a really cool thing, right? Like, I mean, there's obviously the vanity of validation of like, oh, I did, this and that, and I had enough viewers, and now I'm an affiliate, and like, that there's obviously the validation that you kind of get from that. But then there's also like, it does open up the opportunity to have emotes and sub badges, and now there's channel points, which is, I think channel points is freaking brilliant. I mean, I was using Elements points before that for people to redeem things, but then channel points came along, and now I can offer really stupid, silly things in that. There's just this opportunity to express yourself in a way that you wouldn't be able to unless you were like affiliated. And then it goes further, right? Like the more effort that you put in and the more creativity that you put in, it's like the more people you get to connect with. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, one thing that you said is channel points. You are one of the few people, well, from what I know so far, that actually enjoy the channel points.
A lot of channel points.
A lot of people are like, these are freaking useless. Why do we have them? Everybody's got them.
I mean, I don't know. I think it depends on how you look at it. Like, I've seen a lot of channels that don't use them for anything past what is already automatically set up for you.
Yeah.
But I personally have found that people that come to my streams, they like always want to redeem something, even if it's just to see the dogs, Yeah. It's fun to come up with these like silly things that you get to do based on what your viewers want. And I think constantly having feedback from people and channel points is a cool way to do that, or like constantly having an interaction is really cool. Because I mean, I don't know, I've always been like, I just want to have more things for people in the channel to do so that they can enjoy their time there more. And I think that channel points added to that experience.
So it's all about entertain, like you said earlier, entertaining the person or viewer that's watching, giving them some different options that are not, it's not always money based. It could be channel points or this or that. Yeah,
I don't ever want anyone to feel like they come into my channel and like, oh, I people apologize for not being able to sub, and it's like, you being here is like literally the coolest, because you don't get your time back. You know what I mean? You give your time to somebody, and it's like, you don't get that back.
Yeah.
That's, you can earn $10 at work tomorrow, but like,
that's true. Like, I think a lot of people say that I can't sub or I can't donate much, or and I don't think they do it as in a way that, I think they just feel bad they can't support you more than they're already supporting.
I've never felt when somebody said, "Oh, I can't sub this month," or I wish I had more bits. I've never felt that was like a pity me or a malicious thing. It just, I mean, I felt the same way before with some of my favorite streamers, where it's just like, man, I wish that I had more money so I could throw it at you guys, because like, holy crap, this is entertaining, and you deserve to make money off of this.
Yes.
But so it's like, the good ones out there know that time is more valuable than money.
Yeah. So going off of that, now that we know which content you stream, why you stream, the big question, which you were already talking about in Discord, so it might change, is your theme of your stream. I know. So I know this is a up in the air kind of right now, but
No.
Oh, you already...
Not at all. I think that maybe there was some miscommunication in the Discord a little bit. And sorry I cut you off.
No.
By the way.
No, you're fine.
But the theme has always been, and I didn't like pick this theme, it just happened, has been coffee and T-Rexes. So I just love coffee. I mean, most people do, but it just got to a point where it's like, I was drinking coffee. I would have like 4 cups a stream, which doesn't happen anymore.
Jesus, I can see why.
Into like 10:30 at night.
Oh, God.
I intentionally weaned off because it was like, I had a caffeine, tolerance issue where like, in the mornings coffee did nothing for me. So I had to wean off so that the mornings were a little easier.
Makes sense.
But so the coffee thing I think it came about mostly from me just drinking and people constantly being like, you're drinking coffee at 10:30 at night, are you crazy? Or if they're like on the East Coast, you're drinking coffee at 1 a.m, are you crazy? So coffee just ended up being a theme, and I just had like a weird obsession, and so that happened. And then one time I did a T-Rex impression, I literally, it was just an impression of a T-Rex drinking coffee. I don't know why that popped into, I don't, but I was like, what would be really funny is if I pretended to be a T-Rex and then I drank coffee as a and then it just turned into this whole thing that probably went on way longer than anybody wanted it to, but I got my head on it, and I was just like, I gotta drink coffee like this. I didn't spill, but I was kind of using my thumbs, which is cheating.
Wow.
It should have been really, but.
So how did you end up doing it?
If I had a mug, I would show you, but I don't have any mugs near me.
No, totally.
There's a clip of it somewhere, but it was like, you get your T-Rex arms because they're small, and then there was a lot of leaning, and then the cup, and then it was like, yeah, it was great. You're welcome for that reenactment, by the way. That was unnecessary.
Don't worry, I was going along with you, so it's...
I think the top clip is me dancing as a T-Rex too on my channel.
Makes sense. I mean, it all fitting theme there.
So yeah, the channel theme is just T-Rexes and coffee, and that's how Rex came into being, was,
Yeah.
T-Rexes.
So that will stick to your theme during the future, or in the future, I should say.
I can't really imagine it changing. I think I've had moments where I thought, like, maybe the coffee thing wasn't the best idea, mostly because I felt like as much as I love coffee, I don't know a whole lot on the subject, and I guess for me it was like, maybe I should know more on the subject so I can educate people on coffee, but at the same time, then it came to mind that, like, well, people don't come into my stream about coffee.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't
people showing up like, hey, I heard you have a coffee. If there are not coffee recipes and coffee information in, I will get you banned. I will report you for false advertising. So, yeah, that thought crossed my mind, though, where I was like, maybe I'll change it, but no, I can't see it changing anytime soon.
It seems like you want to do that with a lot of things, that you have to, like, if you're going to do something, you want to learn everything about it. Like, you just...
That's just who I am, like, as a person, though. That's always, and that's part of the reason that I am so distractible, is because if I get into something, I get into it, like, 100%.
Makes sense.
So.
There's nothing wrong with that. I just find it funny, you're like... You connected the coffee thing, and you're like, well, what happens if people want to know about coffee? And then you're like... You're up late one night. What is this recipe? What is espresso? 2 shots of espresso?
One of these days there will be a stream where I like bake cookies and make coffee. That's one of my goals, is to be able to do a stream like that at some point when I have a bigger kitchen.
There you go.
That'll be fun.
It sounds exciting.
So, an option in the future. I know it hurts people, it like pains people when I tell them I drink Folgers, but I just do not have the energy to like go out and find a good bean, grind it on up, throw it on in, you know? I usually wake up late, so it's like Folgers is absolutely the best part of my morning.
Well, there you go. There you go. I better get some of those cookies, by the way. I'm just saying now.
What about the cookies?
I better get some of the cookies, by the way. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm claiming them now. So if anybody's
absolutely.
like,
I do make the best sugar cookies. My boss even bought me a website to sell sugar cookies.
He bought you
like, please.
A website.
This was before he was my boss, though. When his wife was my boss at the time.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I made sugar cookies, and I brought them in, and then for my birthday, he was like, I bought you a website to sell your amazing sugar cookies, and it was like emsdopeasscookies.com was like the domain name that he bought for me. And unfortunately I ran into troubles with, you know, FDA clearance and stuff for selling cookies online and needing a commercial kitchen, so that was a venture that never really got kicked off.
I mean, that makes sense. It's probably more legal stuff than you probably want to even get into, to be honest.
What? Wait, what?
With the legal stuff. The legal.
Oh, I thought you were insinuating that I do illegal stuff on the
Oh, no, oh, God. No, more.
It's a video game. It doesn't roll over into real life for me. Like, calm down.
To recover off that one, no, the legal side of things, you know, selling and distributing, I'm sure that with the FDA, like you said, is just a pain in the butt. Yeah. Especially online, I'm sure there's tons of protocol.
You know, I did a lot of research on the subject, obviously. I was going to get into it. And it really was primarily the commercial kitchen. And I even looked into renting, because you can rent commercial kitchens for certain time frames. And I looked into that, but at the time, I really wasn't making the kind of money from my regular job that would support that venture. Mm-hmm. So, you know, and then now I'm like just glad I didn't do it, because shit, it's a lot of work to bake those cookies. I gotta tell you. Oh
man. And so that's how you get the promotions, though. You bribe them with the sugar cookie. You're like, hey, I made you cookies.
That's true.
See, still the tomfoolery, the thievery there. Just like, I made you cookies.
Look, I have the cookies, okay? I don't know. Whatever you want to do is up to you, but these are the cookies, so, I mean.
Oh, man. Oh, goodness. But going off that, back to Twitch, staying on track, or trying to at least. You are in TSAN. You're in a group, Twitch streaming group. I don't know if that's the only group you're in. I just know you're in that group because we mutual streamer friend there. But thoughts and opinions as a streamer, do you feel like it's beneficial? Do you think that it really helps you get your name or brand out there that you wouldn't normally have that opportunity if you were not in that group?
I would say starting out, absolutely. I mean, TSAN helped me to, first of all, just meet some really cool people, you know, and find some really cool streams that I would have never thought to look into otherwise. But at the same time, TSAN is all streamers. And your ultimate viewer base, unless you're like a stream coach like Ashney, your ultimate viewer base is not to have streamers in your stream.
Well, yeah.
So there does come a point where, you know, you have to find better or different ways to market yourself outside of that group. But just starting out, I mean, it was an amazing way for me to make a bunch of new friends. I learned a lot about streaming from there. You know, that's where I got my first few viewers, you know what I mean? So it's great when you're starting out, but if you're trying to move past, you know, like the 7 to 10 viewer mark, you gotta, I feel, and other people might just, you have to find a better way to market yourself outside of the group, you know, on Twitter or YouTube or whatever place that you're going to create more content to bring more people in who aren't, and they might be streamers, but you know, you open yourself up to the opportunity to have more people who are just interested in viewing your content versus also not being able to be there, or you know, because they've got their own stream. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're pretty much networking. Networking is an essential part of streaming. So it's like, if you're gonna network, you don't want to network to the same group of people, because the same group of people are doing the same thing you're doing. You want to network outside of the, or expand maybe.
I mean, yes and no, right? Because networking is really kind of about building more business-like relationships versus marketing, which is just getting your face out there, right? So like when Nike puts out an ad, they're marketing and they're not trying to network with me per se. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. But networking in the beginning specifically is really important, and you meet really cool people.
So going off that, if somebody was like, hey I'm going to start streaming today, what is the number one tip you would give them?
Not that they want to start streaming, but they are, like today they're going to start streaming.
Well, I'm going to start streaming in the future, or today, whatever the case may be.
The only reason I ask is because if they're streaming today, if they're like, I'm starting my stream today, what's your advice? I would have a million questions for them. I would. Well, what are you streaming off of? What game are you going to play? Are you in any groups? Are you, you know what I mean? I would want to know more, so that, because I can't just like throw out.
Okay,
I mean, you can go on Twitter and find, you know, generic information.
Yeah.
But like, I got to know a little bit about what's going on to be able to give someone a piece of advice.
Okay, so they didn't stream today. They're streaming for a little bit. And they, you know, you get that streamer slump. You're just like, no viewers today, or one viewer, and he's my good friend from fucking high school, and you know, he's out there.
Awesome friend.
Oh yeah. But you know, what would your piece of advice be if they're in a group already? They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. What is something that would motivate them, I guess, to push them that extra length?
If they've been streaming for a little while and they're streaming to 0 viewers, or just Chad from high school, you know, I guess, I know this is terrible. I know that I'm supposed to, like, off the top of my head, just be able to be like, you need to network more or change something, or, you know what I mean? Like, I know that that's the answer that I'm supposed to give, but I still am like, I still have questions, and I'm sorry. I know this is terrible, because it's like, I still want to know, like, well, what game are you streaming? Do you, like, how do you market yourself? Are you, you know, are you streaming 7 days a week? Because that's a freaking killer. I mean, if there's a piece of advice, if I could get just one piece of advice to people in general for streaming, do not stream 7 days a week. Don't even do it 5 days a week. I
agree with the 7. I don't know about the 5. If it's your job, you got to do what you got to do.
Well, that's a difference, though, because we're talking about people who are like 0
or newer,
viewers.
yeah.
Because hitting go live is where your work, in a sense, ends. Everything before you hit go live is what's going to determine who shows up in your stream, how many people show up in your stream. And so a lot of new people to streaming, and I was the exact same way. I streamed 7 days a week.
Oh boy.
Yeah, absolutely. I streamed 7 days a week, and then I went down to 5, and like, you know, I was doing everything I could to try to figure it out, and I was getting burnt out along the way, which is a killer too. But like, hitting go live, especially on Twitch, where it's not a place that you get discovered.
Yeah.
You know, you got to do all the work outside of that. You got to do your networking, and you've got to put the effort into, you know, the stream itself.
Yeah, makes
You
sense.
know?
So
Sorry, I know
No.
that sucked.
No.
I know you were looking for like a better answer, but
no, because it actually then I can follow up with this is then, okay, can people go to your stream and ask you, like, because I know there's stream etiquette, and I don't want people to go there and just be like, I'm streaming right now. Do you have any tips? And I don't want people to be like, come on down, come give me a follow. You know, I don't want people doing that. That's bad etiquette. But is it okay? You're laughing, but it's true. People do that.
well, I mean, I've had it happen. So
Yeah.
yeah, I know it's true.
But do you mind if somebody is really struggling and you say, okay, you have questions for them? Is it okay for them to go into your stream and be like, hey,
Totally.
you know, I'm streaming. You said I had multiple questions, and here I am to answer questions.
I absolutely would not mind. I will preface this though with I am. How do I say this without like being harsh on myself? I guess I don't mind helping people, and in fact, I really enjoy it when it comes to streaming stuff. But I would also say that there are more resources that are available that might be even better from people who are more experienced, I should say. There's more experienced streamers who do put out content on, you know, how to improve your streams that a lot of people have had great success with. And I mean, even myself, I watch, you know, these creators and try to push my content further based on the things that they say. So I have no problem with someone coming into the stream and being like, hey, I'm doing this, this, and this. Do you have any advice for me? I would be happy to help, of course. But I'm also going to point them towards, you know, Ashney Christ and like Harris Heller, you know what I mean? And be like, go check out these people because they will help you even more than I can.
Fair enough. That makes sense. See, you thought it was a bad answer, but see, it all worked out then, you know. But the last question I can think of off the top of my head, we're 5 years down the line now. So 5 years in the future. I know you're probably like, I can't even think about tomorrow, let alone next week. But 5 years from now, where do you see yourself on Twitch? Do you see yourself as a partner? Do you see yourself full-time streaming potentially down the line? Streaming more? Streaming a specific game maybe? IRL streams?
I mean, I'll be partnered.
Damn.
In 5 years.
Look at you. Boom, right there.
I have full confidence that I'll be partnered. Maybe that sounds really cocky, but I mean, 5 years is a long time, and if I don't have my shit together in 5 years, like, so partnered, it stresses me out, the idea of going full time. You know what I mean? You gotta, relying on other people to provide for you.
What you don't like, because you're like, that don't impress me. Mm-hmm.
It's relationship-wise. I obviously really appreciate the donations and subs, you know what I mean? It does help, it's helpful, but I think relying solely on other people, I just can't wrap my head around it.
It's
really.
very volatile is probably what you're looking for. People
I don't know. It's like, it's more around, I've seen people who are full-time and they're probably, you know, not partner. And it gets to a point for them where it's like if you guys don't give me bits or donations, I won't be able to pay my rent this month. And it's like, what a shitty feeling. Like that, I can't ever imagine putting my livelihood on somebody else. And I think that's what stresses me out about so unless I'm like, you know, freaking ninja in 5 years, Probably
Hey.
not a full-time streamer.
That could be your goal. That could be your goal for 5 years.
No, I don't think so.
So just
Sorry, what? Go ahead.
no, it's just I was just gonna say, so just partnered or other goals for a stream 5 years down the line.
For stream, I don't know. I think in general, content creation. I'll be making a lot more content. I don't know in what aspect quite yet. I think YouTube will be a place that I'll be moving into, hopefully this year. I currently make very awful TikTok videos. I don't know what made me think that was a platform to get into.
But it gets your name out there. It's all about networking.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking of my videos. I'm like, oh god, Emerson, why? But I want to do more in terms of content creation. So 5 years from now, partnered on Twitch and probably working part-time, multiple sources of income from multiple, probably some, well, now I'm getting in too deep to it because now all these ideas are coming up that have nothing to do with streaming or content creation, so I'm
Fair enough.
back up on that.
Fair enough. I mean, the job, it all plays a role, though, you know, because you gotta, the job that you have in your real life situation and what's going on with that. It all plays a role. It does. Actually, I do have one more question. Talking about Twitch and the trolls. I know we talked about the jerk face trolls a little bit. As a female on Twitch, do you think it is harder or easier as a streamer to kind of like adapt in the platform, stream? I don't know.
We went from trolls to like.
I guess
we gotta pick a direction.
Well, okay, let's go down the troll. So do you get a lot of trolls because you are female, or just because people are shitty people?
I don't know if it's the type of trolls I get are because I'm female. We'll say the type of trolls. I don't know if I get more or like I don't really see them very often in other streams.
Oh, I was gonna say you let them come back. It's like, oh, I don't see you until next Tuesday. See ya.
No. I mean, when I'm like watching other streams, I don't really see trolls pop up. And they really only come into my chat when I'm doing like just chatting before the stream starts. It used to be a lot worse, but like nothing they say is new. It's just boring now. They come in and they say stuff, and it's like, okay, I heard times last week. Like, get some new. Some new insults or something, man. You gotta mix it up because it's boring. But
you just gave them a challenge. You're like, oh yeah,
I know.
Wait till next time. I'll show her.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could really comment on more or less trolls as a female streamer because I think I have just personally been lucky enough to not have that many, or to have really amazing mods just they're on it. So I know for a fact that there are females out there who do have a really difficult time with trolls, and I think that sucks. I've definitely gotten a lot of DMs on Twitch, and some of them very violent, and that sucks.
Jesus Christ, violent?
I've been shook up a few times. I don't know how common that is for guys.
I don't know.
But,
So, like, when you say violent, are we talking like I'm gonna like physically harm you violent, or like I'm gonna find you, or what?
I don't know if anyone's. I just remember specifically one that was like after stream. I had 26 messages from one guy. And I couldn't even read all of them. It was all just very sexually violent things that he wanted to do to me.
Jesus. I'm guessing I'm guessing you reported him, blocked him.
Yes, of course. Okay. Of course. This guy, I'm pretty sure, has just made lots of accounts because I've seen other female streamers who have gotten messages like that from him.
Okay.
So.
Makes sense.
Careful, ladies, please.
So.
You know what I'm saying?
More, I guess, on a different track. I didn't think it was going to get that way. Jeez. Like I said, I personally haven't experienced it, but I don't stream as much as other people. I prefer YouTube, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. But as a female on the platform, do you like have more of a challenge? Do you think Twitch is very, how do I word this? I don't want to put you on the spot and be like, so does Twitch you think Twitch does a good job being as a female streamer? Because I know there's a lot of slack. Oh, booby streamer, get off our platform, blah, blah, blah. You're just here for the money. Do you think Twitch does a good job welcoming you onto the stream? You know, not really... You know what I mean?
I feel like the question you want to ask me is, do you think it's easier as a female streamer?
I guess,
to get
yeah.
viewers?
Yeah.
That's like the direction I feel like you're trying to avoid going, because I feel like you controversial. But that's okay. I would say yes and no, right? Because all of the top streamers are men.
Damn.
That's all the top streamers are men. So obviously, you know, the boobies aren't doing that. They're not doing that well. But at the same time, you know, there are certain streamers who take advantage of how beautiful that they are, and you know, maybe it's easier for them to pull in viewers, but it's not the same kind of viewer that other people are looking for. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I don't think so. I mean, if you have good content, people are going to come to your stream. Like, boobs will never outdo good content. Oh, end of story.
Yeah. So I guess my question to that, so people who use their beauty and use that for their viewers, does that make it harder for you? Do you feel like those people, there's like a standard or a set like way?
No, not at all. Because again, those are also not the viewers that I'm looking for.
Well, yeah.
So I'm not worried about it. Honestly, I think they're badasses for, you know, using what they have to their advantage. And there's people out there that want to consume that kind of content.
Yeah.
You know? So, but those aren't the people that I'm looking for in my stream. So I'm not worried about it. I don't think that it sets a standard of like, you have to be, you know, you have to dress this way or you have to look this way in order to be a successful streamer. I don't feel that way at all. No.
Well, that's good. That's what I was kind of getting at. I didn't want to be like, because you're a female, is it easier? Is it harder?
I honestly, I figured that question was going to come up at some point. So I was like, that's okay.
It's always interesting because I feel like sometimes even just getting the perspective of a female, it's interesting because some people do believe that. It's like, oh, it's a standard. Yeah. And it's like, I'm like, oh, but you can, it's your stream. It's like, you set the standard though. So I don't know. Yeah. But you made it to the end of the interview. How does it feel? I know, tough questions. I know you can breathe. But there's a part two.
Okay.
I know I didn't warn you about this, but it is just a rapid fire questions.
Oh, God. Okay.
Just quick answers. They're usually not quick answers because either one, I'm like, really? And then we go off on a little tangent about this or that anyway. So don't feel bad if it's not like instant. So don't be like, oh, this. You don't have to answer as soon as possible. You can take as much time. I just call it rapid fire because that's the idea of it.
Okay, sounds good.
Are you ready?
Ready.
We start off easy here. Hamburger or hot dog?
Hamburger.
Ice cream or cake?
Cake.
Ooh, what's your favorite cake?
Just chocolate. Just basic.
Basic chocolate. See, you really got to go to Portillo's. I'm telling you, chocolate cake, beef, pizza or Chinese food?
Oh, wow. Chinese food.
Pirates or ninja?
Pirate.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Oh, here you go. World of Warcraft or RuneScape?
RuneScape.
Really?
Yeah.
I was surprised. Anime or cartoons?
Anime.
What's your favorite anime? Because I'm sure somebody's going to want to know.
Current favorites? Oh, boy.
Or top three?
I'm so bad at favorites, man. Anytime someone asks me favorite stuff, I'm like, bro, I don't know. Let me think. Boy, you know, I fast fired on anime, and because I haven't been able to commit to them. Okay, here we go. Ready? So, Fairy Tail is up there.
Okay.
Love Fairy Tail.
No surprise.
I like a lot of slice of life animes.
Okay.
So like single season animes.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Like one of them would be The Devil's a Part-Timer. Hilarious. Love that one. Restaurant to Another World is an awesome one too, but that's just because I have an obsession with anime food. And that whole show is just anime food. So
anime food. Okay.
Yeah. It just because it always just looks so good. Like, how are you not hungry when a bowl of ramen comes on the
Oh my goodness. You're making me hungry now. Yeah. No internet or no cell phone?
No cell phone.
Ooh. Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings? Or Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings.
You've seen both of them, right?
You mean all of them?
All of
There's
them?
more
Both
than
of them?
two.
Well, yes.
Yeah, no, I've seen all of them, and I a quote from The Hobbit on my wall.
Oh, there you go. What is the quote?
It's the stupidest quote in the world, but it's my absolute favorite part of the first Hobbit film is when Fili and Kili introduce themselves, and literally it just says Fili and Kili at your service because it's my favorite. I don't know what it is about that line. I don't know what it is about that scene. It's just that is my favorite moment in the Hobbit film, and it's like everyone's gonna be like, "What are you fucking talking about? What? That's a terrible moment to pick as your favorite moment from any film." But yeah, so that's the quote that I have on my wall.
So it's like a painting or a picture or?
It's like one of those you can put in letters.
Okay.
I would show you, but
that would take
kind of hard to, you know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Yeah, I wish I could explain that better, but you can change up. It's like a sign that you can change.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah. Do you call it soda or pop? I think I know this one. You said
soda.
It earlier. Yeah, it's pop. By the way, you're doing it all wrong.
Okay,
you're
East Coast, calm down.
East Coast. I'm from Chicago.
You're Midwest. Sorry.
Midwest.
My bad. You're right. It is a Midwest thing.
It is a Midwest thing. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek.
Really, you're a Trekkie?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
So, did you at least watch the last Star Wars, or you're just?
Yeah, I did. My dad wanted to see it, so I went with him to see it.
Oh, it's adorable.
Yeah. I've seen all of the Star Wars movies. I just prefer Star Trek.
So, did you like the last Star Trek movie they had?
Yeah, I think that they're doing a great job with the new movies. Sorry, my dog is literally walking where the camera is. So hold on, 1 second. Zoe, hey, come here. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, I'm a Star Trek fan for sure, and I've seen all of the Star Wars movies, and as far as like the new Star Trek films go, I think that they're doing an excellent job. I mean, it's obviously a new take on it, but like, what isn't when you're remaking stuff? You know what I mean? Love the characters though. I think they nailed it specifically with Spock.
Oh, there you go. Fair enough. I'm actually surprised you're a Trekkie. I just
most
mind
people
blown.
are.
Pokemon or Digimon?
Pokemon.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Damn, basic. I'm just kidding.
I've got the nose ring too. It's all big.
Oh, nice.
I've just accepted my life.
No,
I just can't avoid it.
iPhone is it's user friendly. That's what it is.
Yeah, I haven't switched. So I had an Android for a while, but it always glitched on me, and so I was just like, well, I'm gonna try an iPhone, and then I just never stopped buying iPhones. I think it was just more of like, not necessarily that I think that iPhone is better than Android, but more of a comfort thing. Like when I get an iPhone, I just know how it works.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I just don't want to learn a whole new phone. honestly.
It makes
I'm not
sense.
like an Apple die hard everything Apple now. I need it, you know. It's just a comfort thing.
It makes sense. Makes sense. Well, you made it through the rapid, so not so rapid
Nice.
fire questions there. At this time, I'm going to give you the time to shout out, thank, or do whatever you want to do. This is your time to, if you want to thank your mods, your viewers, the dog that's bouncing your camera.
I know, I'm
No,
sorry.
it's-
She's so distracting right now.
It just makes it that much more real, so people aren't like, this is all fake, all edited.
That damn scripted bullshit. Well, specifically, I do want to thank my mods, Bama, Papa, Mod, D-Tune. Watch, I'm gonna like totally forget somebody, and they're gonna hate me forever. Glassy Boy. Oh my god. Because without them, it would have been a lot harder for me to get through the like rough parts of streaming. I think there's just some days where fuck, it sucks, but having them there always made it that much better. And then you know, I think for sure, obviously everyone that like stops into my stream and is like sweet enough to hang out with me the whole time. Oh my god. I can't express how like cool it is to have people come into your stream and like they want to hang out with you. Like they would rather watch your stream and talk to you than watch a movie, or like that is just the coolest shit. So like I mean, I obviously have to thank people that come into the stream. I want to thank my mom. No, but and then I want to thank you too. Like the amount of support that you've shown me, and I know that you came to that stupid root beer commercial that I did for Dad's old fashioned root beer. Like I'll never forget you being like, "Hey, root beer girl," or you know what I mean. But like you have been just. I just can't thank you enough. I mean, especially I went through that whole break and you were still there to support me, and that means more to me than you could possibly know. So thank you.
Oh goodness. Oh jeez.
No, are you gonna cry?
No. I'm not gonna cry.
Together?
Oh god. God, if I started crying, that would edit, clip, cut, done. I'd be done. No, you mentioned that, and it's funny because I remember you came back, and I was like, oh, Emerson's back. Because I watch her stream on a regular basis. And I'm not just saying that just to say it for the interview purposes. I did. I watched her stream on a regular basis after her root beer commercial thing. And I just remember opening up Facebook one day. I don't really post on Facebook. All of it usually is TSAN. I mean, it's just, I'm partnered, I'm affiliate. Yeah. I'm like, but I just remember opening up one day and be like, hey, I took a 6-month hiatus. I'm kind of back. I'll start streaming kind of soon-ish, kind of. And you're like, I was like, Em is back. And I was in Ivory's chat. I'll never forget the day. I was like, Emerson's back. And she's like, Emerson. I was like, that's a TSAN person. You don't know all your TSAN people? And she's like,
you don't know all 6,000 people, or how many people are in there.
She's like, it sounds familiar. I don't know. I was like, she's back. But no. But thank you. I appreciate this. Very sweet. I don't ever expect to thank you. I don't think I've ever did explain this too well, but as most people know, or who's watching this, the reason I do these is for you guys, the person that I'm interviewing on the other side. The idea or concept started because, a very, common questions that I would see all the time was the streamer when I started watching Twitch. It was like, why is your name because she used to play League of Legends, her name was Silver Lady. Yeah. Why is your name Silver Lady if you're platinum? And she's like, it has nothing. It has to do with Game of Thrones. It has nothing to do with League of Legends. So I figured, why not just make a big video with the most common questions so people can watch, especially if you're not streaming or something. People could be like, oh, an hour and a half of Emerson. Heck yeah.
Oh God, I'm so sorry for you.
No, so. But no,
but that's awesome. I love it.
But thank you so much. Like I said, these would not be possible if I didn't have you or somebody else to interview. So thank you for taking your time, taking your effort. I know there was some scheduling and holiday stuff, so just
Well, thank you so much for having me. I had a ton of fun.
well, thank you. And I don't usually do this, but for YouTube's sake, if you like the video, make sure you leave a comment or something to that extent. I know the cheesy stuff. Give it a thumbs up, and if you subscribe, all that jazz.
Click the bell so you can be notified when new videos go live.
Oh man, she's done her
I don't know if
research.
it's going in the right direction.
I did.
I just watched too much YouTube.
All right, until next time, you guys. Bye.